Afrobeat is mainly Lagos. It is predominantly Yoruba. Those are not my words. Those are Omah Lay's words.
Afrobeat is mainly Lagos. It's mainly Yoruba. It's founded by Fela Kuti, we all know that.
Said publicly at his own album listening party. And then the internet did what the internet would normally do. It debated whether he was right or wrong. I'm here to do something different. I'm here to talk about it structurally, legally, about what that statement means for every artist who's not from Lagos. My name is Bayo Eshola. I'm an entertainment lawyer, host Afropop and Law, the show that sits at the intersection of African pop culture, contracts, and power. And this right here is the type of conversation that we exist to have. Omah Lay said something that a lot of people in the music industry have been thinking quietly, but are too careful to say it out loud. And here's what's actually interesting from a structural perspective. If you look at the geography of it, he's not wrong, because the studios are actually here, the tastemakers are here, the major label executives are here, the major labels themselves are here. If you want to be taken seriously in Afrobeats, at some point in your career, you're going to have to come through Lagos. But here's the question that nobody asked after that statement. What does that mean for every artist whose sound, whose language, whose cultural identity is rooted someplace else other than Lagos? Because this isn't just a cultural conversation. It has serious business implications. Think about it. If the gatekeepers of Afrobeats are here, I'm talking about the radio programmers, the A&Rs, the playlist curators, the label executives, if they're all Lagos-based and all Lagos-oriented, that means that the deals that are going to be offered, the advances that are going to be offered, the marketing budgets that are going to be released, all of that is going to flow disproportionately towards artists whose sound fits the Lagos template. And then what happens to the artists whose sound does not? They have two choices. They either have to sand down their identity to fit into the Lagos template, or they have to double down on their hustle and hustle twice as hard for half the resources. Omah Lay chose to fight, Burna Boy chose to fight, and they both broke through. But for every Omah Lay, for every Burna Boy, how many artists from Kano, from Port Harcourt, from Calabar, from Enugu, have signed deals that didn't represent the true commercial value of what they were building, just because the person that was sitting across from them didn't understand or appreciate the sound that was not Lagos? That's a contract problem. That's a valuation problem. That's a negotiation problem. And it points to something bigger. The African music industry needs more legal professionals, more A&Rs, more label executives who understand the full breadth of what African music actually is, not just what Lagos says that it has to be. Because the next global wave from this continent may not actually sound like Lagos. And if the structures aren't properly built and positioned to recognize and protect it for when that wave comes, we just might lose tapping into that like we have lost so much of. I'm Bayo Eshola, and this is Afropop and Law. Subscribe, follow, share. Bring someone into the conversation who needs to hear this, because this right here is the room where African creatives need to be in.